Well, hello everyone. I thought I'd give a recap of my cross-country trip and some highlights, some lowlights, and just information about the trip. So, first off, let's talk about shipping the motorcycle. So I used a company called Haul Bikes. They were really good. Price was just a little over $500 from the West Coast to the East Coast. Had it delivered to a motorcycle shop in Charleston. The only downsides to it, I mean, it was all safe. It was enclosed. All that was really good. I'm really pleased with the company. Just that it took about 5 weeks to get there. So if you're patient, it works. So on my trip, 21 days, a little over 5,200 miles. I think I averaged about 250 miles a day, average. I went through, I think 14 states, which was kind of cool. And as far as motorcycle issues on the trip, I had an issue with my rear brake. I had to bleed the brake line to get my rear brakes back. I went a day or two without a rear brake. That was fun. I had some problems with my GPS charging for some reason, but I kind of squared that away. That was towards the end of the trip. And then the only other thing was I had a blinker got broke off. I'll talk about that in the scariest moments a little bit later on. Weather-wise, so yeah, I probably would have hoped for better weather. But there were some pretty good days for riding, but I hit a lot of rain. As you saw, I had to dodge a tornado, and then hit some pretty high heat coming across the desert. So yeah, like 103 degrees coming across some parts of the desert when I hit New Mexico and Arizona. And then the humidity bothered me just because I'm from the West Coast and not used to it. But other than that, I mean, weather was okay. I got by. Thank God for rain gear. So let me talk about some of the highs of my trip. There was actually a lot of them, but you know, I spent some time visiting with some old friends, and that was really cool. First off, you see, I stopped by my brother-in-law David and his wife Ann's place. Spent the evening there with Ann, and then from there I visited my niece in Virginia Beach. That was fun, Julia. Then I spent some just really amazing time with Jerry and Diana Briggs in North Carolina, Mooresville. That was a lot of fun. I had a great visit with them. And I touched base with an old friend that I haven't seen in, oh my goodness, probably 30 years in Washington, D.C. Actually, Alexandria, we got together for dinner and drinks. Mark, that was a really nice visit. And then a special visit that I'll talk about also in special things that I did was with Kurt and his wife Kathy in Chandler, Arizona. So some of the highs of the trip, well, there were a lot of them, so it's kind of hard to pick them out, but I'm just going to touch on those that really stand out for me. And that was, let's see what we got here. Well, first, one of the first ones, and not in any special order really, was the Marine Corps Museum in Quantico. It was a pretty cool museum. It was recommended by a friend. I went there. It was worth it. It was really nice. And then of course the Washington D.C. The National Police Week. I was there for a couple of those events. The only problem with that is it rained almost the whole time. Otherwise, that would have been a much more pleasant event than what it ended up being. And then the NASCAR race, the short track all-star race, that was definitely a bucket list item, which was a lot of fun. I did that with Jerry and Diana. We had such a blast. It was a really good time. Then I, just by chance, a few months ago, found this place, Barber Motorsport Park and Museum in Birmingham, Alabama. It was just epic. I mean, 5 floors, this huge building of nothing but motorcycles and cars in this museum, and it was just really pristine. It was a lot of fun. And then, another really big highlight was when I was at Kurt and Kathy's place in Chandler. I got to go up in Kurt's biplane for a little ceremony flyover of the Phoenix National Cemetery on Memorial Day. That was just a hoot, a lot of fun. Like I said, I went through like 14 states, and it's hard to say which ones were my favorites, but I really liked the Carolinas. both South Carolina and more so probably North Carolina. The atmosphere there, the people, the beauty. Actually, the weather was pretty decent there. I had a good time going through there. And then as far as riding through, Alabama was really pretty too. So I'd have to say that the Carolinas and Alabama were my favorite states. So if I have any lows to say about the trip, kind of already mentioned it. The weather I think could have been better for me. And the other thing is I would have liked to camp a little bit more than what I did. But it just didn't, come to me along the trip and places to camp and stuff like that. So didn't get as much camping in. Some of my scariest moments on the trip. So I told you about the tornado. Thank goodness I got stopped by a Alabama State Trooper who warned me about the tornadoes that were coming right in the path that I was heading to. So I was able to dodge 2 tornadoes in upper Alabama. I ended up hunkering down just in time, a little town called Florence, Alabama. So that was pretty scary. It could have been a lot worse had I not got that information. Another scary moment was when I lost my wallet. Blew out of my tank bag somewhere in, I think it was Arkansas. But it took me a while to find it. Thank goodness I did, because I really got scared, the fact that I had no money, no credit cards, and I'm out in the middle of nowhere. But it all worked out. And the other thing was on Highway 40, I can't remember what state it was in, but a trucker's tire kind of disintegrated in front of me on the highway doing about 75, and a big chunk of tire came right at me. Fortunately, it just grazed the side of my motorcycle and broke the blinker off, which I was able to repair. But that was a pretty scary moment also. So as far as what advice I could give for anybody planning to do a trip like this, now I'm no expert. I've done a number of these trips now, long trips, and I've learned a lot on every one that I've gone on. This one, what I really learned was, I need to do a better job and make sure that you have some good weather apps and check the weather all the time, especially if you're going to be in a place where weather can be an issue, like going across the United States. That time of year, tornadoes, rain, whatever it may be, snow, know your weather and check it, because it can change pretty frequently. And the other advice I give is don't plan too far ahead. I didn't do that on this trip, and it worked out. And I've found in most of the trips that I do, I don't like to plan too far in advance. I kind of get an idea of the route I want to take and then go day by day. And that seems to work out really well. And with that, don't give yourself time limits. I had a couple of time limits, and as I got towards the end of my trip, I really wanted to make it to Arizona, to Kurt's house, to do that biplane flight. So I rerouted my route a little bit, and I kind of really sped up my cross country across Oklahoma, New Mexico, in that area, and I did some pretty long days to make that happen. But other than that, just don't give yourself time limits. You may find some place that you really like and you'd like to explore it a little bit more and spend some time there. But overall, it was a great trip. I had a blast. I want to thank all the people that let me stay at their places, and it was really good seeing all those people. And anyway, I really look forward to the next trip. Thank you very much for coming along, and we'll see you on the next adventure.